Welcome to the class trial. During the trial, you must figure out who done it. After it seems like everyone's reached a conclusion, voting time shall commence. If you guys vote correctly, only the blackened will be punished. But if you vote incorrectly, then everyone else besides the blackened will be punished. And then you'll get the right to leave this school. So, this is the class trial. This is the trial we must go. Because Buzz died. So how do we start? I don't really know either. Yeah, you probably should go over the clues and how they died. Okay, so Buzz died late last night, right? That is correct. So that would make the most suspicious person be... I'm in Zarland! This again, didn't we already tell you why we're not culprit? We were attacked! How many times do I have to say it? Well, I thought you said you were willing to trust me during the investigation. That was the investigation. Here is the trial. You guys were still the Night Watchers, and like I said in the investigation, you could have coated yourself with the blood you're attacked, when in actuality, that's actually Buzz's blood. But wouldn't the other immediately know we killed Buzz? Monokuma, if there is an accomplice, do they get to escape too? Nope, they don't get to escape. Only the person who actually did the deed will be able to escape if the blackened wins. See? Wow, you guys didn't know about this rule during the murder. I bet you're just itching to turn on each other now. This is bad. I need to get this stupid idea that Mira is the killer out now. In Zarland, you guys were the Night Watchers. If anyone had the opportunity to commit this crime, it was you guys. May I remind you, we were attacked. There's no way we could have committed the murder while knocked out. That's what you guys told us. Was it really the truth? Yeah, bros. As far as I'm aware, there's no evidence to suggest that you were actually attacked. No, that's wrong. Now, there actually is evidence to suggest me and Zard were actually attacked. Oh, there is? My feeling is in. But during the investigation, we found this bloody frying pan. It was only a small amount of blood, but it would match with the wounds me and Zarwin suffered. When the culprit attacked us, we probably got some of our blood in the frying pan. Ow, I remember finding it. Or couldn't you guys have just put Buzz's there too? If so, why would you put such a small amount? It would be way better to fill that with blood to make sure the frying pan would be found out. Neither me or Zarland were actually the ones who found the frying pan. It was you and Penny. Oh, do you see now? We were attacked. Yeah, I think I'm starting to believe we're actually attacked. Well, good. Well, now that we got that out of the way, can we actually properly discuss the case now? Okay, yeah, we can. Anyway, so during late last night, Amna and Zarland, who are the Night Watchers, got attacked by the culprit. Yes, and after we were knocked out, when we woke up, Buzz was dead. Well, you guys were the only ones that were out, and we already confirmed that you two were attacked. So, how did this even happen? More importantly, why did the culprit decide to kill Buzz over Omnum or Zarland? I'm not saying this because I wanted you guys to die over him or anything. I'm just saying, wouldn't it make more sense for the culprit to kill the person they already had knocked out? Good point, Larry. The culprit would have given nothing for having to drag Buzz out of the bed, and then killed him when they could have killed the witnesses, so it would have been troublesome to the plan had any of them actually witnessed them. So then why did the culprit kill Buzz? Well, we theorized maybe the culprit topic would be troublesome in the trial. But that reasoning still doesn't hold up. Even though obviously I wouldn't have died, I'm still the ultimate puzzle-solver. If anyone would be a big friend in trial, that would be me. But I still get killed. Oh, this game gets more and more confusing. We must discuss this at once. Why was the culprit not killed Zarwin or Larry? Why did the culprit, which already has Zarwin marked out, kill Buzz instead? Maybe they told Buzz to be a friend to trial. But I'm not the ultimate puzzle solver. Maybe they just hated Buzz. Why would anyone hate Soldier Buzz? He was such a kind person. Maybe Buzz interfered with their plans somehow? I agree with that. Hey guys, I think actually is evidence to suggest that Buzz meddled with the culprit's plan somehow. There is? Yes, something me and Rowlet found. Oh, are you talking about the open statue box? Yeah, when me and Rowlet searched, we found out that it hasn't been opened in the same way it was yesterday. Yeah, feels like someone took a statue out and used it somehow. When they went to close it, but when they went to close it, they didn't close it the right way. So the culprit replaced themselves with a life-size statue? Yeah, that's probably how they even escaped being detected. Before we even went to sleep, they probably had already put the statue. In actuality, they were hiding. But how does that relate to Buzz? Well, I think Buzz does probably use the statue too. Well, I sure cannot hear words. Mikey? What is it? Sorry, I'm not buying that Buzz used the whole statue. He's not the kind of guy who loses to that sneaky. But Mikey, there's... No. I'll speak your fact and make you see right, Amnon. So you're saying is the Buzz just took a statue, replaced himself, just like the actual culprit. Now for an evil guy like the actual culprit, I could see them doing that. But Buzz, he wouldn't do something like that. Not to mention the fact that there's no evidence like that. But me and Fabio found a life-size statue of Buzz under his rugs. Doesn't that mean that he used one? You're falling for the culprit's trap. The culprit wants us to believe that, so he put his statue to there. After all, sleeping since Larry and Paratrooper never left him alone. Cut down your words. Wait a minute, Mikey. I get what you're saying, but I think there was a moment where Buzz could have replaced himself with a statue. What? How? Well, Paratrooper, Larry, do you mind? Oh, you're talking about that? It's fine. Yeah, basically, when me and Larry were last night, Buzz was with us. But I got kind of how do I say, a little bit depressed. But Larry comforted me. I don't like how this sounds. It's nothing like that, he just hugged me. Oh, a hug. Oh my god, we're just bros. Can you please just continue? Okay, yeah, we hugged and we were pretty gross. It lasted quite a while. I think there would have been enough time for Buzz to replace himself with a statue. And since the statues are so lifelike, we probably wouldn't have noticed. That's probably where Buzz was hiding. Hide? He wasn't one of the White Watchers, and he was already a Night Watcher the night before. He should have been this exhausted. Maybe he didn't trust the Night Watchers. I mean, they did allow a murder to happen. Guys, please! Well, I sort of agree with you, Psychic, but Buzz is way too tired here to just be a Night Watcher again. He would have collapsed from exhaustion if he did that. Well, maybe that's what actually happened. He collapsed so that could explain the culprit killed him. He was an easy prey. That still doesn't solve the issue of why the culprit didn't kill me or Namnando. Oh my. Can we please stop saying stuff like, oh, that doesn't solve the issue? Ooh, can we please move on to the actual murder itself? What do you mean? We have to do this to actually solve the murder itself. Why? There was clear evidence in the room that actually showed who killed Buzz. There was? Then please enlighten us, Fabio. I'm talking about the glass shards. You found some in the scene, didn't y'all? Yeah, we did. And from what I heard is that the Buzz's helmet was especially resistant from all angles except a weak point. That's true too. And can y'all fill me in who's the only one who knew about the weak point? The only ones who knew about the weak point. I see. The only ones who know about the weak point, as far as I'm aware, are Larry and Paratroopa. Perfect. That then there are our culprits. What the? Wait. Larry and Paratroopa are the culprits? They're literally best buds of Buzz. That's what they want us to believe. I'm sure one of them killed Buzz exactly for this reason. Pity points. Oh my god, I'm half tempted to just jump in and beat you. Do you really think we could have killed Buzz? Now, everyone. I know these will be hard, but Fabio does have a point. As it stands, the only ones who would have been able to break Buzz's helmet is Paratroopa and Larry. But breaking the helmet even be necessary? After they killed him, the culprit could have just found out a way to break the helmet by just attacking various points, couldn't they? I guess they could, but if the murder method was anything but a stab to the throat, the culprit would have needed to have Buzz still exposed, which with their helmet he wouldn't have. That is a good point. There must be some other method for the method to break. Now, I don't want to say anything, but Larry, you seem pretty suspicious of Paratroopa doing the investigation. Did you also figure this out? Wait, Larry, you don't actually think I did it, did you? Paratroopa, everyone's getting all worked up. I really don't think either Larry or Paratroopa are the culprit. The actual culprit must use some other method to get Buzz's helmet. I need to make them see it. To stab Buzz in the throat, the culprit would have needed to get rid of his helmet. But his helmet was especially sturdy. It would only break if it got struck at a weak point. And the only ones who knew about the weak point are Larry and Paratroopa. So, Larry and Paratroopa, either one of you must be the culprit. Now it's just a matter of figuring out which one is. We're not the culprit! I'm not, at least. And I'm not either. The culprit must have used some other way to get rid of his helmet. I agree with that. Guys, I actually think there's a way for any of us to get rid of Buzz's helmet, to stab him in the throat. There is? Then speak at once. I don't want to put suspicion on the soldiers that were closest to Soldier Buzz. Well, in the scene we found in the sphere of liquid nitrogen. Liquid nitrogen? Oh, that's the stuff you freeze things with. Yes, and when I checked it myself, the container was somewhat used. Okay, so the culprit used liquid nitrogen, but what does it have to do with the helmet? It has everything to do with it. If the culprit used it, they would have to get rid of the helmet. How? Think of it like this. The culprit probably picked up the liquid nitrogen and blasted Buzz's face with it. What would happen then? Well, his face would freeze over. But because he has their own helmet. Oh, I see. Well, I don't. Basically, it would create a layer of ice. Buzz wouldn't be able to see anything in front of him. Oh, and then to be able to still fight back against the culprit, Buzz would need to remove his helmet. Yes, and that way everyone could have gotten rid of his helmet. And afterwards, the culprit probably realized they could frame Paratrooper and Leary for breaking the helmet. Oh, so that's how why liquid nitrogen was even there, I see. Wait a minute, hold on. We're immediately jumping to this liquid nitrogen theory that came out of nowhere. But there's evidence for it. But there's also evidence that the helmet was broken, wasn't it? But didn't Psyduck just say that Sheriff Liquid Nitrogen was used? What if that's the culprit's trap? The culprit's trap? After they broke the helmet, they realized they needed an excuse to be able to not be pinned as the culprit immediately. So they used liquid nitrogen, some random thing, let the ice melt, and then just leave it there. And that way you'll be able to arrive at the exact same conclusion I'm just here right now and take off suspicion from them. You guys would try to trick us like that? We wouldn't, because we're not the culprit. Well then, is there any evidence besides the used can of liquid nitrogen? Well... But the used can does make a pretty strong case, doesn't it? Like I said, the culprit could have faked that. But couldn't they also have faked the helmet breaking? But think of it this way, in a scuffle, what would the culprit first do? Pick up a can of liquid nitrogen or try to strike a weak point in the helmet? Of course they would do that first. The liquid nitrogen is something they could only think describe as premeditated, which it isn't seeming right now, considering there was even a scuffle. That is actually a really good point. Oh my god, girl, could you actually say something besides that's a good point? Hey! No, I'm sure the liquid nitrogen theory is right. But Fabio raises a good point. But if his point is right, then we'll need a paratrooper or Larry is the culprit. No, there has to be something out here. Even if I have to lie, I'll get to the truth. The liquid nitrogen theory, while plausible, is much more far-fetched than probable. And why is that? Because in a scuffle, like what happened between Buzz and the culprit will be much more tempted to just break the helmet with helmet. And then they would use liquid nitrogen after to cover it up. That does seem like it could happen. But we have evidence for the liquid nitrogen thing. Your evidence is simply the fact liquid nitrogen was used. It could easily have been used after to cover it up. As long as there is no evidence on the scene, it's impossible to confirm the liquid nitrogen. Why? Then so be it. Actually, Fabio, there was something at the scene that proves the theory. What? Yeah, when we were researching the glass shards, I found some shards of ice alongside. I did. Shards of ice? Yeah, isn't that right, Larry and Paratrooper? Yes, they did find some shards of ice. But then why didn't you bring it up already? I thought it was unrelated to the case, but now that I see the liquid nitrogen, I realize why. That must be the remains of the ice that was coating Buzz's helmet. When they broke it, the ice must have scattered along. But wouldn't have melted alongside it? Well, it actually wasn't really ice, but just water. But just the fact it was water makes it that the ice was definitely used. Well, if that's the case, then there's no doubt liquid nitrogen was used instead. Yes, if ice was found, it's impossible for anything other than liquid nitrogen have been used in Buzz's helmet. But couldn't the culprit have just made the ice after they break Buzz's helmet normally? Yeah, why couldn't it actually be planted thereafter? Let me explain this way, Tariantum. Put ice alongside the glass, they would have needed to put their hands in the glass itself or throw it from the front, and that would make the ice somewhat break. However, we only found water under the glass shards and nowhere else. Even if we found a little bit of it, maybe the ice could have been planted, but because it was only laying there, it either means the culprit would have gotten cut for messing with the glass, or would have thrown it, which would have break it, and we would have found evidence. so the ice can only be from the liquid nitrogen. Okay, so have we settled? The liquid nitrogen was used. No, I'm still not convinced. How much do we have to convince you, dude? We're not the culprit. No, maybe if this whole ice thing was true, I would have believed it. But from the way Amnon said and the way Yuchi has taken it, I am pretty sure that was a lie. A lie? Why would it be a lie? Maybe Yuchi wanna save them. You did seem pretty close with them when you talked. I barely talked to them. I talked to them once. If it was me and Paratroop, I would get it, but Amnon doesn't have enough of a close relationship with us. Oh, really? Amnon's only been talking to that white dragon girl. But when that white dragon girl ditched him, he immediately went with you. If he doesn't want to be lonely, of course he wants you two to be the killer. Wait, did you say I ditched him? That's not it. Yeah. Soldiers, I don't want to doubt you, but the way Soldier Amnon said it, I don't want to believe Fabio over you all, but it did seem like a lie. Yeah, I also think that's a little bit suspicious. Well, I still do believe the liquid nitrogen theory over Fabio's one. You really believe in Fabio? I've seen how feelings can get in the way of finding the truth. And to me, there seems to be one truth. Oh, I'm believing on them. There's no way either Larry or Paratrooper would really kill Buzz. And I do think it would be way too suspicious to use liquid nitrogen or anything else but the helmet. I still do believe in Omnon. Tyrantrum? Yeah, no, those two are guilty! Well, for the sake of everyone, I actually don't think they're guilty. It would just be so heartbroken thinking they could actually have killed Buzz. Brochachos, please, let's stop arguing. Doing like that. We're more split than banana split over here. Hold on. Did you just say you're split? Yeah? Well then, now it's time for a scrum debate. Scrum debate? Exactly. When all parties are split in the middle, then they must group together with those who think alike to try to dispel the opposing argument. And that is a scrum debate. And you all will proceed with it. Well then, let's just get this over with. It will actually be quite useful to prove my theory. Now then, go to the right side if you think the liquid nitrogen was used, and you go to the left side if you think the liquid nitrogen wasn't used. There's no evidence to prove the liquid nitrogen was even used. Sidek, there's evidence I checked, and the liquid nitrogen was emptier than usual. But the culprit could have faked using it after. They're Larry. But ice shards were found in the scene. Well, the ice shards could have been just a lie all made up. I'll do it. When 3 people are corroborating on that, I think that's more than a lie. But the culprit, why would the culprit break the helmet after a paratrooper? The culprit clearly was aiming to frame us by doing that. But when the culprit even have been able to found out that the mask could have been broken by all the means, Zarland, the culprit could have just done a bunch of spots. Eventually they would have found the weak spots. This is our answer. Answer. Guys, please, the liquid nitrogen was the thing the culprit used. I'm Come on, even I'm convinced. Give it up, Fabio. This story still seems fishy to me. But everyone agrees, fine. The culprit used liquor nitrogen. Finally got that over with. Well, okay. We figured out that that's how they got away with not being able to break his helmet until after killing him. But how does that pinpoint our culprit? Well, as much as I hate to admit it, just like the method doesn't really pinpoint down anyone as being a culprit. Well, then we basically made no progress so far. Don't say that. We now know how the culprit did it. We can now investigate other parts for more clarity. What other parts? I'll say one. How about how the culprit even got the knife in the pan? Wow, they got both of those items from the kitchen. It's pretty obvious. But the culprit would have been able to, get those items. Think back about the day of the murder. Well, by the early morning, usually me and Tarantula from around the kitchen, and no one went about to get those items there. Yes, and I do always check the drawers, so I know for a fact that at least during this morning, both the frying pan and the knife were still in the kitchen. So the culprit did get those items during the day of the murder. But if we continue down those lines of events, then afterwards we were still always by together. Tarantula and Penny were still by the kitchen, and that's when we all went to search. Yes, we were searched, and everyone was there accounted for. So none of the people who went to search could have got those items or at any point at that time. And after we were done to search, me and Tarantula still were by the kitchen, at least until I put him to bed, where I still stayed over there. So no one could have gotten those items after the motive was announced either. Well, then that only leaves the only order of time the culprit could have gotten the frying pan and knife would be when we were all searching. But wait, everyone searched except two people. These people were... It was only them! Buzz and Tatsugiri didn't search during that time. Oh, I see then. Then Tatsugiri is the culprit. What? Who am I the culprit? Because you're the only one during the time frame of the investigation that we did in the mess room that could have had the opportunity to grab the items. It's not Buzz himself. Did you all see my state? I was knocked out cold from having sit out last night. Plus, you really think Buzz would have witnessed me grabbing those items? Buzz was pretty tired, though. It's possible you could have grabbed it and he couldn't notice. Wait a minute, Perry. I don't think so. Even though Buzz was tired, he still was super attentive. Didn't y'all see how he fell back to sleep? Well, yeah, he seemed brave. I don't think Tatsugiri could have... I was not Buzz being able to see him. Maybe Buzz just didn't say anything. No way. If Buzz saw Tatsugiri carrying potentially dangerous items like that, he would have undoubtedly have stopped him. But he's literally the only person who could have prepared those items. And who else do you think could be? Wait, and Fabio, you said only Tatsugiri could have prepared those items, but I said there were two people, right? Both him and Buzz were investigating us. But Buzz is the victim. But as it stands right now, only Buzz could have prepared those items. Wait, what? Buzz prepared the items? But wouldn't Buzz also have been able to be spoiled by Tatsugiri? Actually, no. Coach was out cold immediately and only woke up around the time the motive was announced. Yes. Unfortunately, keeping track of people wouldn't be my forte. So Buzz could have had easy time to prepare the items, huh? But then what are you saying? Buzz prepared the items and the culprit stole it somehow? But for that to happen, the culprit wouldn't have needed to know what where Buzz hid those items, wouldn't they?
Yes, and undoubtedly, all of us besides Tatsugiri and Buzz were searching. There's no way anyone could have sneaked out and seen it, especially since we're all in groups of 3.
Or 4 sometimes, but still, it's the only person that could have done this is Buzz. But why would Buzz save those items anyway? Even if you say he wanted to murder someone, which he would never, those items before the motive was announced. Perhaps he was already planning on killing someone even before the motive was announced.
Guys, we're jumping to back conclusions about Buzz way too quick. Maybe he only had those items to get self-defense and the culprit found them somehow.
But, as we said, it wasn't a premeditated murder, right? There was a scuffle between Buzz and the culprit. And the scuffle couldn't have happened before the culprit got those items either. Since me and Zara were knocked out by a frying pan, but only after they used them.
I don't know, maybe the culprit found out the Buzz's hiding spot that was in the room, pick up the attach you guys, but that's when Buzz noticed and went ahead to prevent the culprit from doing anything bad to you guys?
Well, Larry is saying is hopeful, but I know it's not true. And I have evidence to prove that. Prove it with this! Wait, Larry, as much as I would like to believe your assertion, it's just not true. There's a piece of evidence that shows why Buzz had to have been the one who was preparing to do this murder.
What? You're jumping all right into that?
I'm sorry, Larry, it's the only way. Because me and Fabio, we found a life-size statue of Buzz behind it. Life-size statue? Yeah. Me and him was able to find it under the covers. And when you consider how the fact the statue box was open, it really makes you think that Buzz is already preparing this even before the motive. Oh, just how he's playing a facade, huh?
What facade? You really think Buzz was pretending to be nice and caring? That Buzz was willing to even be a night watcher 2 times in a row? Do you really think he would do that?
Paratrooper, I know it's hard to believe, but if all the evidence is looking like, it seems to be the most likely explanation. He's the only one that could have prepared those items. The box was open before, and he was heading for a life-size statue.
What attacked me in Zarland was Buzz himself. He was the one who had prepared those items, and he was the one who attacked me.
Wait, but didn't we come to the conclusion the killer killed Buzz because he was meddling with their plan?
Well, I actually think it's quite the opposite now. The killer killed Buzz because they realized his plan and probably went to stop it.
So that killer of this case actually saved me and Mom.
I highly doubt someone who would kill one another would do that. If they really were looking to save you two, they probably would have just made Buzz asleep or something, like doing something. But let's not forget Buzz was the ultimate space ranger. He wasn't gonna go down without a fight. After the culprit used the liquid nitrogen, they probably the only way, especially how much armor Buzz's wear. It's true. But that still doesn't move us towards the identity of the culprit. Actually, I do think it does give us a good way to identify the culprit. Think about it. Who would have actually woken up from Buzz's sound? Oh, well, anyone who was near the bed would have been able to be woken up by the sound of you two being attacked. Yes, anything far too far away from the bed would have just been way too hard for the culprit for it to actually hear what Buzz was doing. So the 2 people who are closest to the bed are the ones who can only be the culprits. Those people are... It has to be them!